Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another movie review. So today we have a movie that was dropped on BET Plus. So over the Thanksgiving break, I watched it. So we have Hideaway that stars Camilla Winbush, Novi Brown, Ella Joyce, and a few other known actors in the business. So, Camilla Winbush is played by Carly, and her sister, played by Novi Brown, is Winnie. So basically, Carly is this over-the-top party planner. Like every holiday, she's been doing the most, basically. Over-the-top overachiever and every holiday for the year. So she's been doing that since she was a little girl. Like, she took on the burden of, making sure that everybody is happy and together for the holidays, no matter what they're doing. So it's now Thanksgiving. And we just had Thanksgiving too, so that's crazy. It's now Thanksgiving. And everybody comes over to her house, and she's planning the whole dinner and everything. So she just wants everything to be perfect. She's really over the board. She also lives with her boyfriend. He stays with her, named Brandon. So she's preparing dinner and everything, and the guests start coming. Her brother comes. Of course, her sister comes with her husband and her two girls. The mother comes with her husband. The father comes with some girl. And the brother doesn't have any kids. So, yeah, it's just them. And she's just wanted to be so perfect that eventually everybody is not like, I would say, appreciative of the thought and effort that it took for her to get to where she got to, the dinner and everything. So when it was time to eat, they was going to say grace, but the guest was like, how would you say it? Unimpressed, and then they own the world. So as she was going to say, Carly was going to take a toast and say grace, somebody smelled something burning, so she ended up burning a dish that was supposed to be for her boyfriend, because that's his favorite from Nigeria, and it didn't go right. So she eventually saw her brother came into the kitchen with her while her boyfriend and her were talking. And he made a comment to like, yeah, you've always been this way. You're over the top and other stuff like that. It's like, listen, you were doing this since we were kids. She seen him with an ice bucket. And then Carly and Brandon finished having their conversation. Then she noticed, she was like, they had dinner without me. So she goes back into the kitchen, into the dining area. And she sees them all tearing down on the food. And it's just like, they didn't even say grace or nothing. So she flipped the script. She was livid. She was like, listen, I've been up since like 4:30 or 5 o'clock this morning preparing all this stuff. And y'all didn't even get a chance to say grace or whatever. And y'all just doing this without me. She flipped. She took a turkey leg from her mama plate. and the champagne was like, listen, I've had it up to here with y'all. Y'all unappreciative. Y'all ungrateful. Y'all hold this, She told them off. And she went upstairs to lay on her bed with the turkey leg. So eventually her boyfriend Brandon comes upstairs. And he's like in his feelings because I guess they've been together for 3 years. And he wants a wife and kids, and she's basically on the fence, like, I don't want to do it, because she's seen her parents go through it. They're now divorced. Henceforth, her mother is married to another guy named Rufus, and her father is just dating random people. One of the girls that he brought to the party, well, to her house, was young enough to be for her brother, which is the father's son. Like, but anyways, Brandon and Carly was talking upstairs, and he was like, listen, I want a wife, I want a kid. I don't want to have a baby with a baby mama. Like, I don't want that. I just want the whole 9 yards. And she's basically telling me, listen, I told you from jump, like, marriage, I don't really care for marriage because I've seen my parents go through it. Yeah, but at the same time, you have to remember, you are not your parent. You are their child. So some things you can learn to adapt to, and some things you can just be like, well, I'm not going forth that. But for in her mind at that moment, she's not thinking about it. She just thinks like all the wrong instead of thinking all the positive. Sometimes when you have a negative mind, you get stuck. And when you stuck, it's kind of hard to get out of your ways. So eventually, Brandon decided to take a break. And she was like, you're breaking up with me? He didn't say that. He just saying, like, listen, you got to, when you figure out what you want, then let me know, whatever. So, Thanksgiving is over. It's now, I think, a couple of days or a couple of weeks into December now. So, she's back at her job. And her boss, which is played by Vivica Fox, she had a proposition for her, and basically to get into, like, she's more like a travel agency when you think about it. Yeah. So she was considered for this job, and Carly stepped up to take the plate to do, like, go visit the place and, write an article and see how things will go from there. So she took that perfect opportunity, to get a break from her family because she was livid how they did her for Thanksgiving. So it's now approaching Christmas. So she takes the trip, and she meets this lovely couple that owns the whole vineyard or whatever the case may be, Thomas and Rose. And they also meet their right-hand man, the one that does everything for them, takes stuff into town, stuff like that, George. So she decides to stay in the rustic cabin, all through the help of George basically convincing her, thinking that she's too prissy to live the life of lavish. But she decided to rough it out and live the rustic life. Basically, rustic means you get it out the mud. You're doing everything for yourself. Cutting wood, getting your food, getting everything like you would do in the wilderness. That type of vibe. So she ended up staying. She ended up meeting another couple that's staying there. That come to find out they always go there so that they can get time to rekindle their relationship, even though they got kids and whatever. So, long story short, while she's there, she realizes of the importance of having that alone time, having time to reflect on her relationship with her boyfriend Brandon, how her family and stuff might feel. Come to find out, the family was missing her. And long story short, with the persistence of her sister Winnie, she was able to track down her boss and figure out where they was at, because she realized at the last moment that she wanted to go back home. So they couldn't, because it ended up being a storm. So that next morning, she was getting ready to leave, and Thomas was like, you sure you're ready to leave? Soon as she goes out the door with her bag, up pulls this coach bus, and out pops her family. I was just like, oh, that was just so beautiful. Like, and her boyfriend came, and she had this bomb. He bought her this sweater because that's how she got down. So they both wore the sweater. The Rose invited them in for Christmas dinner, or whatever the case may be. They got a chance to stay at this big villa so that they'd all be nice and comfortable. And Brandon reposed to her, asked her to marry him again, and she was like, oh my God, where did you get this ring? He was like, I got a little help. Come to find out, George, he went into town, got the ring for her, and he also said his gratuities are he need his money, like, give me, and they doubled during the holiday. So long story short, Carly, she really understood, and she's basically the glue that keeps that family together. So without her, they was going nuts. Like, they actually came to a realization that they missed her and stuff like that. So, yeah. Yes, that was a great movie. I definitely got to check it out. It's called Hideaway on BET Plus. It was a great job. I'm loving all these Christmas movies so far. But yeah, long story short, she got her man. She's a fiance now. She got her dysfunctional family. And everything is going well. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.